Okay, so I'm here with Andy Gill from B-Hive. We are at the FBC Careers and Future event in Peterborough. And Andy has been telling me about some of the latest innovations from B-Hive, which started life as a spin-off company as Branston, but now is very much doing its own thing, and it's moved beyond potatoes to cover other vegetables. So Andy, could you tell me first of all what are the major projects that you're working on currently?
Yeah, sure. So what I'll say first of all is that B-Hive's raison d'etre, I suppose, is to do three things. One is to improve yields of crops. For most of what we do, that means potatoes. So growing more in the fields, growing more with less input. Next is to improve quality of those crops to make sure that they're more pest-free and disease-free as much as we can. And then the third, that goes hand in hand with some of that, is to reduce the waste that's in the industry. And if you put all those sort of three things together, what that effectively does is it brings revenue back into the, in this case, potato industry, but it could be literally any other industry. And so a lot of what we do then revolves around projects that address one or more of those kind of goals. So for things like yield and quality work, we have projects looking at wireworm, for example, which is a nasty pest of potatoes. It eats a lot of your potatoes, or roots of other crops that you might want to grow on the land. If you can detect where the wireworms are, then hopefully you can go in and intervene and try and do something about it. So some of the technology we're working towards is detection of wireworms at the point when you turn over your soil. Going forward, we might want to then look at soil health, plant health and plant growth, and forecasting plant growth and the yield that you're likely to get is really important in the potato growers, but it's also really important across lots of different other crops as well. And so if we can amalgamate things like above and below ground sensing in the case of potatoes which grow in the ground, then we can put some of the technologies that we've got and some of the data we've got together to give a pretty sophisticated forecast of the growth rate of potatoes, and ultimately across a field we can map variability, and the farmer can have pretty good confidence that what he's going to dig out of the ground ultimately is going to be of the right sort of size and distribution to fit in with what is required for the end customer, whether that's a supermarket or somebody else.
And if it isn't, I understand there's another project you're involved in called Root Extract,
yeah,
which
absolutely.
is designed to fight food waste, is that right?
Root Extract is exactly that, and here we took the concept of having an awful lot of potato waste that is either too big or too small or not quite at the quality that's required, and we reasoned, well, if we can extract some of the goodies out of that, then we can hopefully turn that into something valuable. So the goodies that we wanted from potatoes were protein, and we developed technologies along with the Biorenewables Development Centre in York, developed technologies to extract protein from the potato, and that got through the various different scales, through to pilot scale, and we're now at manufacturing scale with this, so that we can extract lots of protein which is UK grown and produced, demonstrably vegan, has lots of nice functions such as the different textures that you might get from different sources of protein, and an ability to gel and coagulate and that kind of stuff. And we're rather hopeful that we will see some of this protein in the foods that you might consume at some point in the future. And again, waste that exists in other parts of the fresh produce supply chain, there's no reason why a similar thing couldn't be done there, where we can address waste in things like brassicas and say, well, can we extract the nice goodies that are in some of these sort of things and add value?
Mm-hmm. And the event that we're at today is all about getting, well, at least half of it is all about getting the next generation into the industry.
Yeah.
Attracting people to engineering and technical positions can be a major challenge. How is B-Hive managing in that area, given that you're a young and growing business?
Yeah, sure. So B-Hive addressed that by being almost entirely product and an end product focused. So we do have lots of capability across things like artificial intelligence and machine learning, the remote sensing solutions that we have, or the engineering that's required to take some of those remote sensing devices out into the field. And we value and use all of that kind of expertise. but actually it's the end product of the integration of all of these that is literally the product, something that people sell. What we find is that if people can get really excited about having that end result, it means that they are absolutely inspired to develop those skills in engineering and start to apply them into the agritech arena. You know, it's really nice to see someone's skills ending up as Harvest Eye, one of our products where we can film and size different potatoes, and that's been an amalgamation of engineering, of artificial intelligence, of software design, and the people to go out and ultimately sell it. So we've had a lot of inspiring conversations with a lot of different students here with a lot of different backgrounds, so I think it's been a really good event.
Okay, brilliant. Well, we'll end it there. Thank you very much, Andy. Sounds like you're working on some really exciting stuff.